This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, my name is Novo Manna, and welcome to another session of Technology Review Council. Today, we're very pleased to have GiftoGram, and Tom Corbett will be presenting for us. I had the pleasure of talking to a gentleman prior than Tom. I haven't had a chance to really talk with Tom today, but I have seen the product and pretty jazzed about it. I'll put it that way. I'll reserve some comments towards the end, but I think we've seen things like this, but I think you're going to see a very different approach to the idea. And I would call this certainly a reward system and a recognition system, but it has some very nice little bells and whistles to it. And I don't want to steal Tom's thunder, so we'll let him do the presentation. So, Tom, if you would kind of to introduce yourself and GiftoGram, and you're on.
You bet. No, thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone's time today. Just to give you a quick history on GiftoGram, we've been the GiftoGram division of our company has been around since 2012, and like pretty much any type of sort of tech type of company, we've gone through many iterations to get where we are today, but always in that reward space for not only for HR, but for customers, for vendors, any place where a reward or an incentive makes sense, we try to provide our business, our products. So I'm a managing partner here at GiftoGram, and I handle most of the enterprise accounts for us. So with that, I work with companies like MetLife, Synchrony Financial, Fiserv, Prudential, CNN. So we work with a lot of larger companies. But the beauty of GiftoGram is that we will also work with companies that have 3 employees and they're a law office or a dental office. So the beautiful thing about technology and kind of what we do and what we provide is the ability to kind of scale larger and small. So it's and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute or so. But that's who I am. We are based out of Parsippany, New Jersey. That's where our office is, as well as our production facility. And I'll talk about that as well. So if we could just kind of move here a little bit. What GiftoGram is essentially it's a one gift card that allows you to choose from over 200 different retail partners. So what's nice about that is, what we've heard, especially on the HR side, at shows like SHRM and other kind of HR gatherings is, people are looking for choice, or your employees are looking for choice. And something that comes up is that, no good deed goes unpunished, right? So, if you buy everyone in your company a Starbucks card, inevitably there'll be people that are mad because they don't drink coffee. So, the nice thing about GiftoGram is that your employees have a choice of over 200 different retail partners, and they include literally every major retailer in the country that's national. So, and since the past few months in the COVID situation, we have your essential retailers. So we have your Amazons, your Walmarts, your Targets, your CVS, Home Depot, those type of rewards. And then, of course, we have some new additions, including Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash, which are, a big popularity right now, to say the least. So there's quite a few. And then, of course, we have service industries, service retailers. So that would be things like an Uber, or like a Hulu, or an iTunes, or Google Play. So there's, just about every type of gift you can imagine. So that's the choice in what we do. What's nice, about GiftoGram as well is that it allows your company to customize gift giving. And that includes not only HR and your employees, but that includes your customers, your vendors, anyone you want to kind of onboard. So if you have a new customer and you want to send them a gift, it gives you a complete customizable tool to send that as either a physical card or a customized email. So it makes it completely customizable. And then, of course, hassle-free is, we try and make it hassle-free. So, and if anyone has any questions, I apologize. I should have said this a little earlier. if anyone has any questions, feel free to speak up here. I have a tendency of talking fast.
Yeah, Tom, this is Paul. Just a quick question as you start your presentation, and I'm sure we're probably all thinking this. There's a lot of others that are, or not a lot, but there's others that are in your space. So if you could do me a favor, as you're giving the presentation, can you share what differentiates you from, GiftoGram from others that are similar in that space, and what makes you unique, and why we would want to go with you versus another vendor?
Sure, absolutely.
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah, so going back to, and I guess we can kind of talk about this here. One of the things that we are I think different from our competitors is in the customization. So we have a card facility, a card production facility rather, in Parsippany, New Jersey, and we've done that, and we kind of created that for another division of our company called Drop Cards. And Drop Cards is a company that does digital download cards for the entertainment business, for publishing. And we've been, Drop Cards has been around for about 10 years or so. So we're very used to making customized download cards, and that kind of fits in where our customized gift cards. So as you can look here, and you can see all these kind of sort of customized designs. What our platform allows you to do is to drop your logo into any one of these designs, or if you choose, you can design the entire card yourself. So it could be, this real estate is entirely yours. So you can design that yourself. It also comes with a accompanying greeting card, and that is 100% customized as well. And there's no addition to customization. The only addition, besides the plastic card, the only addition is if you wanted the optional greeting card, it would be $1 extra for the customized greeting card and the envelope. So that's a real big differentiator for our company versus some of the others that are out there. And there's some others, and we can kind of go into that as well. But again, just talking about the designs, and we'll go into this a little bit with a little demo as well. But again, we have dozens and dozens and dozens of different kind of cool designs. Some are a little cheeky, some are a little straightforward. But again, you drop your logo in, you can move the elements in the design to kind of fit your artwork. And then you can save that design. So that allows you to come back into your account, and anytime you want to send a birthday, you don't have to recreate the wheel. So it's a super easy design tool.
So Tom, this is Nov. As you talked about it, what struck me, and the word stuck in my mind, if you would, the card, the envelope, and that. Can I have these delivered electronically? You're showing me that. Sorry about that. You can pay me later for this.
That's funny.
Queue you up for the next one. That's perfect. Thank you.
That's good, Lob. It's a Lob over home base. No, that's no, thank you. Yes, so we digitally deliver these, and this has been one of our key features since we built the platform at the very beginning, is digital delivery. And with that is completely customizable as well. So it's coming from your company where your artwork is in there, and you design what you want to be in that email. You also choose your messaging as well. So, and there's some really great kind of automation tools that you can work with. And then, of course, there's contacts that you can work with as well, where you can upload groups of contacts. You can make them into separate groups. So if you have a Los Angeles group and a San Francisco group, or maybe you have a sales group and a customer service group. So a lot of the tools on the platform are yours to kind of sort of play around with so that the platform works for you specifically. And of course, it's digitally delivered, right? So this is the recipient experience with a digital delivery. They get the reward email. It's got a redeem button and a claim code. Once they click redeem, it brings them to our storefront. And at the top right-hand corner, they'll see their balance. So if this is a reward for $25 or $100, they'll click redeem. It'll bring them into a box to put in their claim code, and then they'll land right here on the storefront. It'll give them their balance, and that allows them to choose where they want to put the value of that gift. So let's say they have $50. They may want to do or they have $100. They may want to do $50 at Grubhub, and they may want to do another $50 at Buffalo Wild Wings. So once they redeem, this is where they see their actual card. This is the Grubhub card where they can go online and just enter in the Grubhub code, and it gives them $50 off their delivery. So it's super, super easy to redeem. The user experience is really very intuitive. And again, they have 200 choices to choose from. Additionally, you can also, as a company, in this next iteration, it's coming relatively soon, and this is another differentiator. We're going to be able to pick your group. So let's say you wanted to curate that group of retailers to just be food. You can do that. Now, with the entire storefront, your users can always check a category, and let's say it's food. This is what they would see. But we can actually, in a short while, we're going to be able to just offer food. So that would be the only thing they would see. So, there's reasons to curate and maybe reasons to kind of open up the storefront for everybody. You might have a theme that might be, health and wellness, and you want to just include outdoor retailers, or, so there's a million different ways you can kind of work this. And the curation is coming, and that should be available in about Q2. Here's just, and we can send this deck out to everyone. I don't want to kind of read off of the slide, but there's several different reasons, why B2B gift card spending is where it's at, and how having these choices make a difference. Again, here just kind of talks about GiftoGram just as a solution. I spoke about, sort of a choice. There is no activation fee. So with GiftoGram, and this is another differentiator, there is no activation fee at all. So if you buy a plastic gift card for $100, or you do an email digitally for $100, it's $100. There's no activation fees. There's no inventory fees. There's no distribution fees. It's whatever you choose. That's what you get charged. Again, like I mentioned a little earlier, if you wanted to add the optional carrier card or greeting card that the plastic card gets affixed into, which is also customizable, that's only $1. So if it's a $100 gift, it costs you $101 if you want that optional, and that's physical.
So Tom, this is Nov again, just very quickly. So
sure.
To maybe extend a little bit what you said there, the idea is that if I chose to hand out, an odd number, a $4 gift certificate, I can do that. In other words, there are no limitations to the increments of that gift card. Is that correct?
No. So it starts at $5.
Okay. All right.
So it's $5 to $500. We can do a larger denomination, but the platform starts at $5, and that's mostly because most of the retailers start at $5. Now, we could do something if it's a sizable order. We can do what we call off-platform, where we can do something like a Panera or a Dunkin' Donuts at $3. So we do have the opportunity to do that, but there's very few retailers that start less than $5. So the platform really defaults to a $5 minimum card, and of course that goes up to $500.
And the increments within that, though, can be, in other words, like maybe I want a $10 in there. Every time I go to the grocery store, I see a $5 and a $25 or something. So you're giving some variability in that. That's
true. That's true. And one thing that's sort of a differentiator as well is, we set up the company and GiftoGram, the platform, specifically a la carte, because we saw that we kind of took a look at our competition, or I guess it's competition, but it's just the rewards and recognition area, and we saw quite a few companies that require contracts and minimum spends and that type of thing. And we thought there was definitely a space for our company to be pretty much strictly a la carte, where if you want to use us, you use us. There's no fee to open an account with us. You can actually open up your account. You can create all of your cards, your artwork for your emails. You can pretty much upload your contacts. You can do everything you want to do besides send a gift for as long as you want. And the minute you want to use us, you fund your account and you use us. Of course, we suggest that you don't fund your account for anything that you don't need, that money sitting in the account. So it's very a la carte. You use us when you want to use us, and if you don't, you don't. We have a very large portion of our client base that only use us at holidays, and that's great. So that's one of the things that I think is a nice differentiator.
Great. And Tom, we have a very quick question that came in with regards to the from the standpoint of let's say gift card. It's not regionalized. In other words, I could use if I get a Target gift card, and I'm here in California, and I decide to go to New York. There's a Target there. I can use that any place, right? I can use
That's
that
true.
for whatever. And actually, what I like about this is that I've got a balance on your site, and I happen to be
Correct.
somewhere, and I see a restaurant, and I go, that's pretty good. I wonder if there's a gift card for that one I could use balance towards. So there's no geographic restrictions whatsoever. In fact, it makes sense to just basically leave your balance there till you're ready to use it, is the way I would look at it.
That's correct. So there's two things there, Nov. All of our cards can be used at any location or online at any time. There is, with our product, the digital delivery has a 1-year expiration date. Our physical cards have an 18-month or a year and a half expiration date. And what that means is that when you send this out to your employee, your vendor, your customer, let's say you're sending out $50. That person will then have 1 year to go onto GiftoGram and assign that value to wherever they want. And they don't have to do it all at once. So let's say that first month, to your point of that first month, they spend $50 at Target. Now they have $50 in their account, and that'll stay there for the year. Now, say they choose a restaurant in September, that works out fine. Now, once they redeem for that Target or that restaurant, there is no expiration. So if they want to redeem on the first day they get their card, there's no expiration date on the cards that they choose. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay.
And I'm looking at some of the questions here. I have to say, and I'm going to ask a couple of folks to open up their mics on this one because I think they're great questions. But so from the perspective that, Bonnie, I'm going to come back to you in a moment because you've got some very good perspectives. There's something that occurred to me as you were talking about this restriction. So I don't see that very, very often, period. And I like the idea. Let's say I was running a wellness program and I wanted people, or maybe I have a program to reward my employees who are working from home, and I want them to use this gift card towards maybe headphone sets for the Zoom meetings or whatever they were trying to do. You kind of guide towards, you maybe put some parameters, but you're still giving choice to people to do things, and you're still rewarding them. I think that's an extremely large differentiator in my mind, that you can tailor these to kind of hit the programs or things like that. And I don't know if you have stats, so I'll ask Bonnie's question a little bit. Is there any sense of, for every dollar I give, I got $1.50 back in productivity or loyalty or something? I mean, it's hard to quantify that, but the idea is you're solving a problem by giving people a reward, but that becomes kind of mundane over time. People get recognition all the time, badges and all that kind of stuff for gift cards. So the question is, in the manner in which you're doing this, is there a return on that investment? That's a big question.
So it's very difficult for us because we don't have that data from our clients. Certainly not on the employee side so much. But what we do know is GiftoGram does a lot in consumer campaigns. So I run registration for Blue Cross Blue Shield. So if you sign up for auto pay with your Blue Cross Blue Shield, you get a GiftoGram. You get a $15 GiftoGram. if you register for online communication with MetLife, you get a $10 GiftoGram, and that's easier for us to kind of quantify. And then, of course, it's only when our clients, can kind of volunteer that data to us. But one of the things, excuse me, pardon me, one of the things that that allows us to kind of check ROI on is we know that if they're reaching a certain amount of customers and we're getting a certain amount of take on it, there's quantifiable data there. Additionally, we do a huge amount of paperless campaigns. You would think that everybody would be off paper, but there's still roughly 70 billion bills that go out every year. 70 billion. And that's with all the people that have gone paperless, right? So just paperless still has a long way to go as a business initiative, and we do a lot in that. And what's beautiful about that is that that's something, not to get off the beaten path here, but that's something that's really clearly as an ROI, where that return on investment is for paper printing, postage, associated customer service calls. So there's really great ways to kind of quantify the spend for say a $5 gift card. So
and again, I don't want to take you off too far off the track here, but what I'm seeing a lot of is, let's say, okay, the work from home, the remote workforce is here, just say for a while, if not forever, and the idea of maybe giving spot awards at work, hey, Tom, you did a great job on this project. I want to say thank you. Maybe even call a small meeting. You can do things like that, but with the remote population, it's kind of lost. So there's probably ways to give the reward, but also make those acknowledgments. And as time goes on, if I go to look for another job, as much as pay and maybe the job and the opportunity are part of what I'm in consideration, it's all the other peripheral things that you're offering as an employer that I'm going to say, well, for the extra $5 an hour you're going to pay me, it's not worth it. I'm losing these benefits, these I'll call peripheral benefits or perks. So I think as time goes on, you might want to consider going out to your customers and see if there's any kind of synergy between bringing you in and watching maybe retention or attrition or something along those lines, and see if you can find people who would actually say, yeah, I'm sorry I had to give up that benefit or something. I think that makes a point that Bonnie was saying, that there's a danger of people see this as an expense, and if you can quantify it in some sense of retention or something along those lines, that probably puts you in a much better position as well.
Absolutely, and if I can add to that, and I also have, I don't think you have seen it. There's an additional deck that I'm going to run through real quickly just after this, and that speaks to that exactly. So what's nice about sort of having the ability to craft your message either in your email or actually in a physical card, when you're able to customize it, to your point, you can customize it where it is work from home. So that could encapsulate two, right off the top of my mind, that encapsulates two things, right? You have people working from home, so you want to give them a break, right? So it could be something either, a break with food delivery and entertainment, or it could be something that helps them with their work situation, right? So people are working from their dining room table. So maybe they need to get a gift card for Staples, Best Buy, Home Depot, something that allows them to go online and buy a mouse pad or buy a seat back or buy something like that. And again, you can message that when you're sending out these rewards. Additionally, you can schedule a reward to be sent out each month that work from home continues. So, just to be a reminder that we understand what you're going through. It's trying for everybody. Certainly if you have a family and you have, children and, online, learning, it could be, disastrous. So, that's a really good opportunity to kind of show your employees that, like, we know you're in this. We know it's not as easy as, it seems to be sitting on your couch. So, yeah, that's something that's very front of mind for us.
Yeah. So there's a question that came in from a good friend here, Mr. Keith. He said, wrapping the costs with the total rewards kind of a budget. If there's a pot for spot bonuses, maybe this is something you would increase the pot to cover these gift cards. I liked what you were saying about like a little bit of a campaign, a reward campaign. So, we're all under this, stay-at-home situation. We appreciate what you're doing. Our productivity is still where as if you were in the office. Here's a little something to say to make it easier. And to your point, the variety of your product allows me to say, I'm tired of cooking dinner after a day's work sitting here. I'm going to go order something from Grubhub for the family. Or, hey, here's a treat for the family. Here's a month's worth of Netflix for whatever. Right. Like I said, there's just so many ways to do that. So I think the variety is a huge, that's what struck me when I saw the product is you've got and I'm sure it's going to continue to increase. The variety is a pretty key aspect that we've not seen with a lot of the different other things we've seen along the same lines. So that's a big plus.
Sure. And for it's company client by client, company by company, but the variety does help to get creative. To that point, it allows you to get creative with what you're messaging. Not every company, rewards or incents their employees. They all do it differently. But if you just think of like the typical, health and wellness, safety, stay at home now, sort of a pampering type of thing, where it's like it's just strictly a gift to feel good. So there's so many different ways you can get creative with it, and get creative with the messaging and with the design of the card, which is also the design of the email. So there's a lot there.
This is Paul. Quick question for you. When Keith asked that question, maybe come to mind as far as the spot bonuses. What have you found in other companies and customers that you're working with? This could be potentially considered spot bonus or imputed income, and the taxability of this for the employee that the employer is liable for. Have you come across that, or you don't get involved in that?
So we don't get involved in that. However, a lot of our clients, and there is there's rules with de minimis rewarding and that type of thing. So it's really up to the client. Yeah. But and we do have typically for my larger clients like MetLife or those type of clients doing employee gifting, what they typically do is they gross up the amount of the reward. So if it's $100, they'll gross it up for that employee and pay that, so that it comes out to be a $100 gift. Does that make sense?
It does. Thanks. Yeah. So they are considering the taxability of it. Perfect. Okay.
They are.
Since I've got you, one of the questions. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say we also offer. I'm going to talk a little bit about this right here, which is off-platform. We have other rewards. We have movie tickets. We have digital magazines. We have digital movie rentals. We have charity options. Those are off the platform, and all of those don't have the same tax implications. So you can give away a pair of movie tickets without having to worry about paying, reporting any kind of taxes on that.
Perfect. Yeah, my other question was, it sounds like you've got a lot of national chains in there, but for example, I have a location in Monroe, Ohio. I don't want to have my employees there say, "Gee, Paul, that's great that you got it, in the Bay Area, in San Francisco area, in California, but there's not a lot of retailers here that I can apply for." Granted, there's the Amazons, and they can, a lot of us are working from home, or a lot of us doing a lot more online shopping. But what do you do, Tom, to speak to getting as many retailers in the kind of the non kind of out of the way or less populated areas?
So, we try to increase, the amount of retailers that have a large enough footprint that they have a gift card program already in place that we can tap into. It's not that easy, I can tell you. But what we did do to kind of mitigate that as sort of a workaround is on the platform for GiftoGram, they have the 200 plus retailers they can choose from, and they can also choose a MasterCard so that they can use that anywhere they want to go.
Great,
that
thank
kind
you.
of mitigates that. So I'm going to ask the tough question that's just kind of lingering out there. That was one of the first ones asked. How do you make money?
You know what's funny? I wish I could show you guys right with my notes, because that's usually right at the top of my notes. And I usually kind of go into that early on, right? Because that always comes up, and that, to me, that's clearly
we're always so used to having to pay for that. You know, somebody's got to make some money out of the process. So we're kind of curious about it. I mean, so far, you know, as an employer, knowing if I've got recognition programs, that you're actually helping me continue a tradition, maybe, that quite literally can reach everybody who's working from home. No problem.
Sure.
You just solved my problem there. So the question then becomes, how do you make your money?
So there's two ways we make our money. Okay. The first way is we have over 200 different retail partners. We get discounts because we buy in very large bulk from each of those, and they're nominal. Some are a little bit higher than others. That's the first way we make our money. The second way we make our money is based on a breakage model. So, you know, like I said, each one of those recipients have 1 year for a digitally delivered, because it's delivered that day, so they get it that day. The reason why we give 18 months for cards is because some people, you know, give out cards as spot rewards, and they may order, say, 250 cards, but they may not distribute them for 6 months. So we give it an extra 6 months so that recipient still has a year to go redeem, right? And out of, you know, if we give out 1,000 cards or we send out 1,000 emails, we know there's going to be a handful that don't redeem. And that's how we make our money. And it works the same way as if you send them an Amazon or a Target or a Starbucks, there's some that don't get redeemed. So that's the two ways we make our money.
So,
but again,
there was kind of there's an aside question there that says, so you mentioned when there are unclaimed or not redeemed gift cards in that goes into your pocket, which makes sense. I mean, the employer's already bought that. That's not really returned back to the employers an unredeemed thing.
No.
They've already purchased it, so it's gone, and that makes
sense.
That's
true. Just like you know, if you went and bought a handful of Target cards at Target, or, you know, Visa cards. And again, if you were to go to a Visa, you know, and, you know, go to, you know, like CVS and buy a stack of Visa cards, each of those have an activation fee. They're not customized, and they have an activation fee. So it might be a nice gift. It's going to cost you a lot more money and have none of the branding that you have with GiftoGram. So, and it works the same way. They don't redeem, you know, whatever's not redeemed, Visa doesn't give you the money back. So that's how we make our money.
I think you've managed to differentiate yourself extremely well for the original question from Paul at the start of this. So thank you.
So I don't want to take too much more of your time, but just and this I don't think you've seen this deck, but this was our stay-at-home deck that's been, you know, really popular. Now again, there are for companies that are larger that are you know, can do an off-platform campaign.
Tom, I'm sorry.
Yep.
For some reason, I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a blank screen. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Sure.
Yeah. It could have been that your PowerPoint turned off or whatever. Apologize. I didn't want you to go too far down the deck.
And now my computer is locked up.
We are seeing your mouse, your pointer, though.
You can see my pointer?
We're seeing your pointer move across the screen, so that's a good indication. But I'm not sure exactly.
Maybe you can try turning the presentation on and off, like the share screen. Maybe that can solve it.
So
maybe stop sharing. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. The
share screen should be down at the bottom, I think.
It's not even coming up.
No, it's not. Let me do this. I'm going to take it back and then give it back to you and see how that happens.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah, this is always such a thrill for us to have to.
And there's 25 competitors in that too. You know, in the screen sharing business. So.
Yeah. For some reason, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to.
Hey Tom, my notes goofing around there is that is there an activation fee for MasterCard gift cards?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Is there an activation fee for the MasterCard gift cards? Okay.
No, there
So
isn't.
that would be a benefit of like you say, going to a CVS where there is one, you don't charge one. I want to make
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
And now I'm going to give this back to you. Last time we did something similar like this where the entire presentation died immediately and we had to reschedule. So, okay, you should have a new request to be the presenter, and we'll see if that.
I don't see it. You know what? Let me do this. Let me see if I can't just go on my laptop. I'm on a big monitor, so let me see
Gotcha.
If I can open up my laptop. Oh yeah. Okay, so this might work a little better.
Probably see two boxes. One says I took the rights away, and the second one turn around, give it right back to you.
It's just locked up. I don't know if it's my computer. I don't think this has ever happened here before.
Do you think you could just talk to the deck then? Just maybe
walk
us through.
Yes.
It sounds pretty interesting. The work from home program.
Yeah, I got it. So there's a few things that I just wanted to kind of kind of hit on, and certainly if anybody wants to just what I'll send to you is our onboarding, which will kind of show you how to set up an account. So if you would like to kind of set up an account on GiftoGram, play around with it. Like I said, there's no cost in just setting up an account. So it's, it allows you to go in there, play around with it a little bit, and kind of see how quickly an HR director or any user can actually go on and create their account and start. I mean, literally, you could be up and running in, you could have your account set up within a half hour, and once your company is verified, the next day you could be sending giftograms. So that's one kind of nice thing. The one thing that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that's been real big for the work from home is what we've done is combine two cards. So it's sort of like a stay at home where your employee gets a card that allows them, say, $50 to Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats, or any of our restaurants, and then another card that allows them to get a digital movie rent. So now they can kind of tap into a movie, get some takeout, and enjoy a night home.
I love it.
Yes, it's been really, really successful for us.
Well, and in a general sense, anyone giving something of this nature, in a sense, because you've got a variety of clients, you may be, either sending out newsletters or blogs or something about, innovative ideas to use GiftoGram. Like you say, maybe we've seen a couple of our clients do blah, like you say, an Uber Eats and a Netflix movie or whatever the case may be, or something like that. Those are the kind of things. A lot of people, I think, feel that kind of insights, if you will, that you might be offering helps people as well to how to best use this, I guess, is a way to put it.
Sure. And we do have a marketing area which shows you some different, and I'll pop a link out there as well.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't mind, Tom, I hate to obligate you. You probably have to speak to Brian about doing this and for volunteering you. But if you don't mind, I've got the original deck, but if you've got a deck that speaks to that, I will make sure this goes out to our Technology Review Council. And if you want to, in that same email, include any links that would say, here's how you get to my, to the GiftoGram site, set up an account, just so you've got a feel for how this works, and then the link on any tidbits and stuff that you share with your clients.
That's perfect. I can easily do that.
Perfect.
I'd be happy to.
And it begs a very quick question about, if I'm an employer and I don't want to be a single thread for a large company, do I set up separate accounts for GiftoGram, or can I have one large account where I have several administrators?
So that it really is up to you on how you want to set up your account. So the way it works on the platform is when you set up your account, and this works for large companies, small companies, it's really up to, the client themselves. So essentially what they do is you have 3 different roles, and the lead role is the administrator. So, and then once you invite users, so let's say I'm Bob and I run a call center and I have, 12 managers underneath me that I want to give the ability to send gifts out. So I'm the administrator and I invite those 12 managers. And when I invite those 12 managers, I can choose what role they can have. They can either have an admin role, which allows them to transfer money. It gives them all the top rights. They could either be a gift only, which means that they would have to request funds from the admin in order to gift themselves, and they're only allowed to gift. And then the last role is a reports only. So that's if you have a finance team that wants to just go in and kind of take a look at the reports, generate a report. So there's 3 different roles, and it's really up to the way you kind of decide you want to use it, right? So we have like a company like First Energy uses us. They have admins in each of their different holding companies, and then users underneath those admins. So they have an admin for Jersey Central Power and Light. They have an admin for Potomac Energy. So they use it kind of like with one central person per group, and then they have users underneath.
Gotcha. Do you have any professional firms that, let's say a consulting firm that would say, hey, I'm going to give consultants some of the rewards, but I want them to also turn around and gift their clients and so on. So you've got a mix of client and internal situations, and I'm sure you want to be able to at least account for it, let alone report on it and so on. But is that 2 different accounts? Is it different ways, or how are people using it in that situation where they're rewarding employees and clients at the same time?
So there are different fields within the recipient that can delineate whether it's a customer, a vendor, or an employee. And you have to kind of create that yourself. It's super simple. It's a field, and you kind of assign what we call property to that field. And then this way, when you want to run a report as to all the customers that have received the GiftoGram, you can run a report on customers. For employees, you can run a report on employees. Yeah. So it makes it nice to kind of delineate that kind of data.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm sorry. I said it makes it easy to be able to delineate that data for each different kind of group that you're sending it to. And let's say, to your point, if you have a consultant that is they're sending employees and customers. The nice thing about GiftoGram is that you can come up with a messaging and an artwork and a direct email that speaks to what the employee is doing, and then also a different one that speaks to either thanking the customer or onboarding or whatever whatever kind of messaging you want to get to that customer.
Yeah, and the fact that you started out by saying you've got large clients all the way down to maybe a 3-person company, there's a lot of value to, like I say, as a service company, a consulting group, you may want to do something like this, but I don't want to, I'm not going to buy in bulk and have it sit on the shelf. That's not the way to do things, but it's a very quick, simple thing for me to establish an account with you and be able to reward my clients in different ways. And those are my clients who are sitting in the audience. I'm just hypothetically talking about this just to make sure. But anyway, but I didn't want to obligate myself yet. But the point of it is that you've made it very easy for people to use the system regardless of size, regardless of specifics of what you want to, the customization, the programs that they may run. I mean, there's just a lot of things. Unfortunately, Bonnie left the meeting, but her firm does surveys all the time.
Oh, we do a lot
on implementations. And so as a result of that, I could see her coming back and saying, maybe I need to find a way to kind of reward the people who are answering the surveys and things that we're doing, because that's kind of her bread and butter. So, yeah, there's just a lot of uses there. And I think, again, you've done in my mind, a very good job of differentiating yourself from than the other folks we've run into. Folks,
just to make a point there,
please.
just one more point.
Sure.
And as things unfurl very quickly. Obviously, this year there's many things going on, but one thing that we've seen as well is people using GiftoGram for what they call lunch and learns. So now that people are remote, it's a nice way to send people a quick, Uber, DoorDash or Grubhub, where if they're going to sit through a webinar or they're going to sit through a lunch and learn or whatever it is, it's a nice thing to send them the day prior and say, here's a lunch on us. Thank you for tuning in tomorrow at so and so. Want to make sure that you have a nice meal. So
no, that's excellent. I mean, some of the startups, certainly out here in Silicon Valley and so on, they used to beer parties in the afternoons and whatever the case. Lots of food. They can't do that now because nobody's at the office per se. So that's a very good. I mean, you're going to use your budget, and you're probably hoping that it would save you money, but no, that's a great idea to keep that camaraderie that you had at the office still somewhat intact, and giving them a reward for attending. Very, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice idea.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different types of ideas, and we get them. We hear them all the time. People will call us and tell us what they're using it for. We're like, oh, that's a good idea. So yeah, there's lots of creativity involved.
Very nice. So let me ask: are there any questions from the audience? Let me go out to the chat here. I close that up for a moment. I just from the standpoint, I'll obligate you, Tom. From the standpoint, please send. I want to say both decks, the stay-at-home program and the general one you were going through, and then any links that you can provide us. And I'm sure I will shoot it out to the larger group, even not just the folks that were here. Any questions? Any particular perspectives that anyone wishes to share? The people that usually we're a vociferous group until we go into the presentation, and we're always very quiet. But you are welcome to open up your come off mute and ask any and all questions if you wish. We've got about another 10 minutes here.
I have a quick question before anybody or while everybody thinks theirs. So right now you told us like the employees will have like a physical card if you want, basically, but they can also access it through the web, right?
Correct. So the physical card takes them to the URL on the back. So it takes them to GiftoGram.com, and on that physical card they have a claim code where they enter in the claim code online, and that's how they unlock their value. So it works the same way as the email, just the information that's on the email is on the back of the physical card.
Okay, so right now you have like a web where you can access it both from a computer or a mobile phone. You don't have like an app for where you can see anything, or you can have things in a better way, or maybe you can receive push notifications of new offers or whatever.
So we don't do push, but we all of our our platform is optimized for mobile as well. So if somebody gets their reward email on their phone, they can open it up and go right onto GiftoGram on their phone, redeem it, and then if they want to spend it at a Target, they can literally walk into a Target, open up their phone, it'll have the barcode of that card that they chose, that Target card, and that they can use it right there at the register.
Yep.
Or conversely, they can actually go online to Target.com.
Yep. And that's a distinct difference between some of the Visa cards. If you do the digital wallet, some of those are not accepted in a denomination other than what it is that I have the card for. In other words, I mean, I've run into this. I want to buy something for $25 and I've got a $30 card. I eat that $5. It's gone. And so there's because many of the retailers just don't have a way to keep the balance. You do. That's what I like about it. You've got the balance, and so I can spend as much as I want out of that gift card, and that's that.
That's right. And in some cases, we'll have a, somebody will come onto the platform, and let's say they get $25 and they're not really sure where they want to spend it, but they know they're going to spend it on, they're going to spend money on Amazon anyway. So some people will just put it right into their Amazon account, and then it's in their Amazon account. So the next time they go to buy diapers or they buy, shampoo, they have a $25 gift card waiting for them. So we get that too. So it's, that goes back to sort of the flexibility of allowing that, that recipient to kind of choose what they want.
Exactly. So folks, any other observations, perspectives you wish to share? If not, like I say, I like the idea of the ability to kind of tailor a campaign, if you will, around a set of gift cards that are usable. In fact, if you'll be kind enough, Tom, to stay after I turn off the recording, I've got a couple of things I want to pass over to you, which I think would be very good.
Sure.
But I like the idea that you've got that ability to just simply hang on to a balance and go out there. I suspect that you would potentially, as an account holder, notify me if things are going to potentially expire in a balance. They don't expire in the balance. It's only when I redeem the gift card, correct? So if I have $100 balance you gave me and I haven't used it all year long, do I potentially lose that if I've not redeemed it against it?
You do until you redeem. So like if you have 1 year, so you need to get onto GiftoGram and choose where you want to put that value.
Gotcha.
So, so if you choose Target or you choose Macy's or you choose, Dick's Sporting Goods, they don't redeem, they don't expire. So, if you want to park your money after that year, you should park your money in one of the cards, whether it's Amazon or, Cabela's or, for someone like me, it could be Dunkin' Donuts. I know I'll spend $100 there.
Mine will be Pete's out here. Cool.
Oh, there you go. I like Pete's better.
Oh, I do too. Well, folks, again, thank you very, very much for your attendance. As always, I am very, very pleased with everybody's interest in this. Tom, I can only say, I won't compare you to the conversation I had with Brian, but you did an excellent job. So I'll just put it that way.
That's very kind of you. And Brian's a great guy.
Well, and if you would be kind enough to hang there, I'll say goodbye to everyone. We are going to
Thank you very much, everyone. We're going
to have a Technology Review Council probably pretty much every week coming through for the next several months. I've just got people lining up to do this, which is wonderful. So again, thank you all very much for your support. Stay well, please, and certainly email me if you ever need something or run across something that'd be interesting. We'd love to bring them to the Technology Review Conference. All righty.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. All righty.